all over everybody. Monique tried to warn me about these damn snow bunnies, but I just couldn't help myself. She got me, y'all. She done got me. Them sweet, sweet, sweet snow bunnies. They got me. I swear they did. I'ma lose everything now. Skip! Skip! Stephen A, how you just gonna leave me like that? You stood up for Jay.
So welcome to the channel. Today we are checking out this whole Shannon Sharpe situation. Turnout of events, a very complicated situation here in that they reached a settlement, which unfortunately I thought from the first time, or from the initial phase of this whole situation, I thought this is not going to happen. This is absurd, considering the part whereby the asking price was 50 million. And I was thinking to myself, come on. If it was really like a sexual assault and a rape allegation, in my head I was thinking then the police should have been involved. This should have been a matter to take to the police or take to the cops. This should not be a matter of straight up litigation. It should have been a criminal situation, like cops being called and investigations, testing, and all that, and evidence, all that being taken into account. And it should not have led to a settlement. It should have led to a clear out criminal conviction. If that is the case. So I don't know how America operates. I don't know if there's a loophole in the system that someone can be able to take advantage of, which I'm sorry to say this, but it looks like in the next coming few years, it's going to be very, very difficult for a lot of celebrities, especially athletes, to move and to move around how they would like. And considering most of them they tend to be surrounded by a lot of women, and yeah, I don't think it's going to be the same for them anymore. I think messing around with women, it's going to be a poor man's game. It's not going to be a rich man's game anymore. Thanks, especially in America. Maybe thanks to such kind of lawsuits. Because again, I do acknowledge that, well, both parties are at fault here, or both parties here involved are at fault. It looks like Shannon might have pretty much overextended or pretty much gone a bit overboard when it came to their interactions. And on the other hand, she was like, okay, then I also take you for everything. But again, if in my head, I'm thinking, or from where I'm standing, or from the law I know, from the little legal knowledge I have, if there's a sexual assault and a rape allegation, this is a police matter. Cops need to be called, not lawyers.
You do. You don't just, oh, the devil got me.
No.
Do after Shannon Sharpe, that's a fake ass. But I would tell Shannon Sharpe, what do you think gonna happen if you paying young whore for, and the devil out there, them people invited the devil in.
You better get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You're trying to hang out with these young and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it.
Many months later.
Don't worry about it, later.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
This is this is a play. This is it just feels like these two engaged in like that whole dominatrix kink stuff. And the problem here, the problem I think I see is Shannon Sharpe didn't have boundaries in terms of, he didn't know that in his head he was like, at any time they can do that whole role play thing, and didn't know that, or he didn't actually assume that, hey, by the way, that role play thing could also be recorded. And on top of that, if you don't have any boundaries, which I think that's where his biggest mistake is, not having any kind of boundaries at all sexually, which led him to be in this kind of situation, which unfortunately he will have to actually have boundaries. And one of the biggest boundaries is just not interacting with women in the same way anymore. Like his kinks are completely, they absolutely, no more kinks for Shannon. No more kinks for Shannon.
Not a good look that you did what you did to me.
Texas attorney has a new target in his sights. NFL legend Shannon Sharpe.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, this is a shakedown. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million.
Now accused of forcibly assaulting a woman who is seeking a minimum of $50 million in damages.
$50 million?
Turn of events, Shannon reaches a settlement in the $50 million lawsuit. So the Pro Football Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe resolved the civil suit that accused him of sexual assault, according to BET. The Pro Football Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe has come to terms on the settlement with a woman who accused him of sexually assaulting her during their relationship. Her attorney on Friday said, that's Tony Busby. This guy is going after everyone, including and you can't say it's only black celebrities. He was also behind the allegations for Trevor Bauer. That's the baseball player who lost his MLB contract because of sexual assault allegation. Anyway, so Tony Busby, the anonymous woman's attorney that took to X, formerly Twitter, to announce the settlement. So Tony Busby has a private jet. We can come to you anywhere, anytime. Just win. So Jane Doe versus Shannon Sharpe. In April 2025, the Busby law firm filed a complaint in Nevada making several allegations against Shannon Sharpe on behalf of our client. Both sides acknowledged a long-term consensual and tumultuous relationship. Consensual, isn't it? Okay. After protracted and respectful negotiations, I'm pleased to announce that we have reached a mutual agreed upon resolution. All matters have now been addressed satisfactorily, and the matter is closed. The lawsuit will thus be dismissed with prejudice, meaning it shall not be brought back. Dismissal with prejudice, the plaintiff cannot refile the same case or the same claim against Shannon Sharpe in a Las Vegas court. No criminal charges were filed against Sharpe, but can she do it in another court? Nope, I don't know. I'm not aware, but again, this is America. Anything is possible. When news of the lawsuit went public, the plaintiff was seeking $50 million for pain and suffering and psychological and emotional distress. But this thing, like, a police report would be good, or this thing should have been taken to the cops and should be, if it's a rape case, if it's a sexual assault, should be addressed as a criminal offense, not a shakedown. In the lawsuit, Sharpe was accused of raping the woman in October 2024, again in January, and again in January 2025. Additionally, Sharpe allegedly recorded their sexual encounters without her consent and was physically abusive, choked, and struck Doe and threatened her multiple times. If I'm not wrong, I think that was a case where he was basically, well, when they were in the throes of it, they were sharing videos with Shannon's childhood best friend, whose name was Bucket or something like that. It's a very Sharpe's attorney said that his client offered the plaintiff $10 million before she filed the lawsuit, but the offer was rejected. Because the whole thing is, they knew at that point, I think he had a very, very big contract, or a very big contract coming in for $100 million for his podcast on YouTube, and now that's not the case anymore, and it's like they wanted half of it. This thing just looks like greedy people after weak people. Sorry to say, not even sorry to say that. This is greedy people after weak people, which, unfortunately, as a weak person, you kind of have to understand that. As a person, you need to understand that there's no amount of money that makes you above the system. Like, you're always on someone's plate, especially if you have money. You're always a target. Following the announcement of the suit, Sharpe announced that he was taking hiatus from ESPN for a stake on which he appeared every Monday and Tuesday. He was warned by Monique. He was warned by Cat Williams.
I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan. Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends.
I think Mr. Shannon Sharpe feels like a lot of things don't apply to him because of his status or where he is in life. And I think one of those cases, it's become a situation where he's realized that's not the case. And on top of that, there's predators out here, man. There's predators out here. And again, there's always... Whenever you're at a certain level, you have a target on your back. I do think so. And on top of that, in my head, I think he didn't have boundaries as well. Like him basically accepting to take phone calls and do the whole role playing on the phone. And also on top of that, it kind of looks like there was trust, where there was misplaced trust on both of them, in terms of like, okay, so these are my boundaries, and I hope you're gonna obey them. Same on the other side. And I think what happened was there was just breach, and there was just a breach of contract. There was a breach of the boundaries are not respected on both sides. Like maybe she's like, hey, I don't want to like have a limit in terms of how much I want to be choked or whatever, that whole situation. And he's like, I like my life private. I like how I get down to be private. So unfortunately, he went overboard and she went overboard. And now he has to pay.
I am not happy this brother is going through what he's going through. But I hope the brother realized that he has a disorder. But what is his disorder? What do you think is wrong with Shannon Sharpe, Craig?
Them sweet snow bunnies, they got me. I swear they did. I'ma lose everything now. Skip! Skip! Stephen A., how you just gonna leave me like that? You stood up for Jay-Z when it was his turn, but you just walk away from me. I swear.
On this same news, the OnlyFans, or so-called Jane Doe, whose name is Gabriella Zuniga, who's actually a OnlyFans model. So the OnlyFans model, Gabriella Zuniga, has announced her retirement from the platform shortly after quietly settling a $50 million civil lawsuit against former NFL star Shannon Sharpe. I don't think it's actually a $50 million lawsuit, but I think it's close. Zuniga has accused Sharpe of several assault, battery, and emotional distress earlier this year. The case was recently resolved for an undisclosed amount. Sharpe previously denied the claim and called the lawsuit a blatant attempt to extort him. Well, it worked. So here she says, today I've decided to can't even read. So today I've decided to retire from OF. Thank you for the incredible support that you've shown me over the past few years. This community has given me a life I could never have imagined. I'll still be active on social media and have several new projects in the works that I can't wait to share. I'm truly excited for this next chapter. Love you all forever and ever. Hey, first of all, Americans like to throw the whole love you forever and love you a lot. Anyway, she retires, or she's retiring. That means she struck gold. She came out of this with a good chunk of coin. And all you have to blame is Mr. Sharpe not being able to control his desires. Or not being able to control his desires, and on top of that, not heeding warning or thinking that a lot of the warnings that he was being told by other people in his level did not apply to him. Because he moves in a certain way. But there's nothing like moving in a certain way. It looks like the only solution here for a lot of these celebrities or a lot of these athletes is abstinence. I don't think even NDAs are going to work, considering all these things. It's becoming a situation where it's going to become a situation where a lot of women like this are going to be emboldened to actually take it up a notch. And on top of that, a lot of hungry lawyers are going to realize, oh, there's work on this side, or there's work here. You get? So at that point, it's going to become a situation where this is just going to become absolute bloodbath. And the only option for a lot of these athletes and celebrities, I do think, is, bro, or chop off your appendages, or I don't know, abstinence. Monk, become a rich monk, something like that. Because it's I don't know, maybe this whole screwing around and doing whatever the heck you want with women is going to end up becoming a poor man's sport. Because a poor man doesn't have anything to lose. Most of these guys, it's for celebrities and rich people, screwed up, because now this is going to set a precedence now. It's going to set a precedence where something like emotional distress, sexual assault and battery, all from, let's say, I don't know, aggressive sex or something like that, and maybe it's to her liking or to the other person liking, I don't know. But at the end of the day, something like this will not be taken to the cops, will go straight to the lawyer for a shakedown. Anyway, so my take is this was a clean-ass shakedown and it worked. And it's gonna keep working. And I don't think Shannon Sharpe is the last person that we're gonna experience or we're gonna see in this situation. More are coming. There's gonna be more cases, especially right now when the economy is this bad, given the cost of food and the rising cost of living. Yeah, this is gonna be an option for retirement for a lot of OnlyFans models or a lot of women who are into this kind of thing. Anyway, so that's my take. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more takes from me, and see you in the next video. Thank you.